Brought to you by 1AAuto.com, your source for quality replacement parts and the best service on the internet.
Hi, I'm Mike from 1AAuto. I hope this how-to video helps you out. And next time you need parts for your vehicle, think of 1AAuto.com. Thanks.
In this video, we're going to show you how to replace front tie rod. We're going to show you the passenger side. The driver's side is the same procedure. This is a 2003 Nissan Frontier. This procedure is the same for 98 to 04 Nissan Frontier as well as Xterra. You'll need a new tie rod assembly from 1AAuto.com, jack and jack stands, 22 and 21 millimeter sockets and ratchet, pliers, a small punch, a hammer, and a 22 millimeter wrench. If you don't have the benefit of air tools, start with your vehicle on the ground, loosen the lug nuts, then raise and secure the vehicle and remove the lug nuts, wheel, and tire.
Go ahead and locate the tie rod that you're looking to replace. You'll see a nut there, and it's got a cotter pin through it, through the outer portion of that tie rod, and you're going to want to bend it until it snaps, or just push it through. This one's rusted, so we're going to bend the tabs back and forth until they snap, and then we're going to use a small punch and hammer to knock it out. I'm lining up the small punch with what's left of that cotter pin and pushing it through the stud of that outer tie rod end. I'm going to repeat the process for the inner side. Use a little small screwdriver to get the tabs started, and once I can reach them with my pliers, bend them back and forth till they snap. A couple different methods for getting this off. Here we're using the wrench method where you lock them together. And then you can break them free. That's going to give you a little extra leverage. This is a 22 millimeter nut, and I'm using two big wrenches locked together and breaking this free. The other option, of course, is a 22 millimeter socket and socket wrench, and you could use a pipe for extra leverage in that case. Here I'll just finish taking this off with this wrench, and I'll fast forward as I do it. So here you can see I'm using the locked wrench method, but I'm running into quite a bit of resistance here. I don't think I'm going to get the leverage that I'm going to need with these, so I'm going to show you the other way to do it, which would be with a socket and socket wrench. So here I'm using 22 millimeter socket, a ratchet, and a pipe for extra leverage. This is another way of getting the job done. I'm going to go ahead and remove this nut like I did the outside one. Use a hammer and hit on the knuckle there for the outer end of that tie rod until it gets loose, and you can see it comes right out. If it doesn't come out on the top, just go ahead and continue the same thing. Here's a comparison of the old part and the new part. It's an exact direct replacement fit, and you just unscrew it to lengthen it or screw it in to shorten it, and you're going to want to measure the length of your old tie rod assembly and match it up with the new one, and then temporarily lock it in place with those locking nuts, as you'll see here. Here you can see how we've adjusted them to the exact length. Going back in, I'm going to start the outer portion of it and push down and start that crown nut. Then I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing with the inner side.
Okay, and now we're going to tighten the nuts up, and they're castle nuts, so they have basically little grooves in them, and then there's obviously the hole in the tie rod stud that the cotter pin goes through. So you want to tighten these up, get them nice and tight, and then pull them tighter so that the hole lines up with one of the grooves in the castle nut, and you can get the tie rod, or you can get the cotter pins through.
And here I'm just adding a little extra pressure so that I can get those to line up while it's still tight. And then once I have that done, I'm going to reinsert a new cotter pin. Now go ahead and insert the cotter pins on the outside and then on the inside. Now you can take your pair of pliers and bend the ears back so that the cotter pins can't fall out. And go ahead with 22mm wrench and tighten up on those locking nuts. Reinstall your wheel and start your lug nuts by hand. Now go ahead and tighten up on those lug nuts in a star pattern. And now with your vehicle on the ground, go ahead and torque your lug nuts to 100 foot-pounds and just be sure to do it in a star pattern.
We hope this helps you out. Brought to you by www.oneauto.com, your source for quality replacement parts and the best service on the internet. Please feel free to call us toll-free 888-844-3393. We're the company that's here for you on the internet and in person.